started on the back today. We don't do that enough. So 2 options. Always 2 when we start on the back. Do you want to come Savasana style? Everything sort of rolled open and relaxed. Maybe you're getting to the end of your day and you just want to let go. Or maybe you've been sitting at your computer, at your desk from home. If you're in the health industry, maybe you've been on your feet all day. Maybe you want to invite a little opening to your hips. Take soles together, knees apart, and make it a reclined butterfly. Whatever would serve your body best. You could start in reclined butterfly and always head to Savasana. But we want to ease into this first pose. Get the little wiggles out. Pet any pets that might be joining you. Slowly start to let your muscles soften and melt into the mat. So whatever you're doing before this practice with your day, you're starting to let that go by shifting your focus to here on the mat, the here and now. For me, that means breath. I switch between visualizing my inhales or counting them. Allowing each one to get a little longer than the last. Actively leaving the day behind, even the good parts. Coming to present moment either through breath or through intention setting. Do you want that one focal point, the word, the phrase, something beyond the breath? Let's take one more inhale together here in our opening supine position. Sigh out. Draw knees to chest. Give your knees a hug. Take a little rock. Inhale, fill. And as you exhale, a big low back releasing squeeze, taking little rocks. Drop your knees to the right. Keep both shoulders on the mat. A little ending twist to get things started. Head faces ceiling or looks to the left if you're ready for a neck stretch. If you have been looking at a phone or a computer all day, that look to the left might really be nice to sort of rid your neck of any holding that you may have been doing. Bring your head center, take your knees to your chest, exhale, hug, squeeze, a little rock. And then take the knees to the left, shoulders on the mat, nice and open. Fingers spread, a look to the ceiling or a look to the right. Big inhales. Complete exhales. head center, knees to chest, little hug, squeeze, and just get a rock going, a rock for the low back. Place your hands behind your knees and start inviting a little lengthwise rock. Yes, we want to be gaining momentum, but we're also giving our spine a massage. How does it feel? See where I'm going? Halfway to my boat, and now all the way to my boat. You got a boat for me, Navasana. Core is engaged. Inhale, lift your chest. Cross your ankles. Easy seat. Let's continue opening up our back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, roll your chest over your legs. Ooh, that was wrong. Switch up the breaths. Inhale, come over. And exhale, arc. So of course, if you're more of an exhale over, inhale, arc. I know some of my students invert it. Most importantly, we're just connecting breath to movement. And opening up low back. Two really important things here, I ask her. And then let's reverse the directions. You might have to pause or slow down so you can keep whatever breath pattern you're working with. But just getting lost, making that connection of breath to movement and opening. Let's come in for one more. And then we'll sit up tall, finding some length in the spine. We'll take our tip to hands and knees and find our tabletop. We're not going to come into downward facing, but we are going to curl our toes and wake up our feet. Walking hands back, feeling a nice big stretch in the arches. Hands might even walk up the legs. If you have been on your feet all day, or maybe you wore some funky shoes, don't worry about coming all the way up. Take pressure off. Come back, uncurl, little taps. Wake up those feet. Then extend your right foot back and bring the ball of your foot to the mat. I want a little emphasis on the calf here. So a little press through the heel, waking up the lower part of the leg. A little bit of softness in the elbows. Anyone who experiences a little restless leg syndrome, this is supposed to be a really good pose for that. So let's use our core to bring our toes up and engage your core and lift up your belly. We don't want a little dip in our back. We really want a strong, engaged core, like we're trying to pull our belly button in. We'll take left hand out long, maybe. Others may choose to keep it on the mat, your call. Pay attention. We're going to take a big inhale. Exhale, tap. Just a little heat in the core. Inhale, length. This is where I'm going to throw a curveball. Left hand to the left, right toes to the right. I just like to find new places in the core. Inhale to center. Exhale to tap. Find length. Fill up. Engage core. Pull belly button in. Plant. I always like to round up cat and cow, just sort of neutralize the spine. Left toes back, come onto the ball, little press through the heel, soft elbows. First, just focusing on calf stretch and finding some release. And then we'll use strength of core to pick up the foot. You could flex, you could point, as long as you're pulling your belly button in. Maybe right hand comes down, no worries if it stays down. Big inhale. Exhale, tap. Inhale, length, the change up. Right hand to the right, left foot to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, tap. Find the length. Plant hand, plant knee. Give the toes a curl. Lift the seat. We're skipping our cats and our cows, and we're just pressing heels to the mat. Since we spent a little time with the calves, do you notice that maybe the heels trend to the mat just a touch easier? Maybe they don't. That'd be okay too. Little press of the chest. Let's lower the hips, find our high plank. Make those tiny adjustments, but you know otherwise these poses are quite similar. Stacking wrists right underneath the shoulders, hint of softness in the elbows. And let's inhale up, downward facing. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, fill. Exhale, lower. You can always drop to knees first. Tops of feet down. Inhale, press up, your baby cobra. Toes curl, seat lifts, downward facing. Head to the top. Inhale up half. Big hinge, hang out. Whether it's grabbing elbows or letting arms hang. And take a moment to shake out the head, to sway the torso. Remember, you have softness in your knees. Drop your hands, keep the fold. This is where a book, that little bit of sturdiness might come into play in front of the left hand. If you don't have one of these items with you, just make sure you're putting a lot of bend in your knee so you can at least get your left fingertips to the mat. Right knee looks straight, but there's a hint of softness. We're inhaling, right fingers up, stacking wrist over right shoulder. Engage your core, waking up the back. Big inhale. Exhale, right hand down. Lots of softness in the right leg. Left, look straighter, but there's a hint of softness. You can always rest your hand on something that brings it up higher. Inhaling, left fingers, stacking wrist over shoulder, engaging core. Big inhale. Exhale, come on down. Get rid of that prop. Come up, half lift, inhale. Exhale, hinge. And slow roll to stand on the inhale. One vertebra at a time. Taking your time, no rush to get to standing. Shrugging your shoulders back. Now inhale, lift into your chest. Find grounding in your feet. Find those heel ball connections I always talk about in your balance poses. Sturdy like a mountain. Tadasana. All right. Make sure you're at the front of your mat. Let's warm up. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, up half. High plank. Exhale as you lower. This time I'm just going to come halfway. You can always come all the way. Tops of feet down. Inhale, a back bend. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing. Staying for a couple of petals. Really spread through your fingers. Big inhale fills you up. Walk or step to the front. As you exhale. Inhale, half lift here at the top. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, the back bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, half lift. High plank. Lower through your variation of a flow. Inhaling your back bend. Curling toes. Lifting seat. Just 2 pedals here. And then exhale to the top. Inhale up half. Take the dive. Sweep your hands up. Inhale right into a chair. Shoulders soft. Weights and heels. Let's open up just a little bit. Left hand forward, right fingers back. I'll turn and face so you can see what's going on here. Core is engaged. I'm going to look back at my right fingers, open up my neck, my whole back. Inhale, right fingers forward, left fingers come back. Core is engaged, weights and heels. Right knee isn't creeping in front of left, knees are in a line. Inhale, left forward, hands overhead, sit deep. Inhale, fill. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, up half. High plank. You could even jump back. Uncurl. Inhale, the back bend. Curl the toes, lift the seat, downward facing. Inhale your right toes up. Put a bend in your knee. Send your foot to the left. Just waking up the right side hip. Inhale, float your right toes back to neutral. Step the foot between your hands and open left foot right away, warrior 2 position. Pinky edge parallel to the back of your mat. Spiral open. So we want that nice strong setup. Opening up knee a little bit so you can see big toe. This is why we sort of warmed up our hips. Gaze over front right fingers. Flip your palms. That puts your shoulders nice and in place. Let's inhale, come up. And exhale our long arms. Flip. See how that kind of neutralizes the shoulders? And then gaze over front right. Flip right. Exhale, reverse. Reverse or peaceful warrior. Big inhale into right side body. Stay for one more breath. Inhale, warrior 2, long and strong. All right, let's find our extended side angle. Right elbow, right knee, left hand overhead. Big reach, waking up the psoas, the side body. Never dumping weight into your knee. Maybe elbow comes in front of your knee, or fingers come inside of ankle. This is where I usually offer a block. So anything you might want to substitute if you're coming this far down. Now I want you to take your left hand, and I want you to take it to your low back, half bind. Open up your left shoulder. We've sort of been preparing our back for some of this big opening with the twisting. Right hand could snake underneath. Today might be the day you find your fingers and take a full bind, or maybe you're like, no, half bind's lovely. It's a great place to be. All right, release any sort of bind. Inhale back up. Gaze over front right. Flip right. Exhale, reverse. One more inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. I'm going to be a little mean to your right leg. Inhale, fill. Exhale, back to extended side angle. Also being a little bit mean to your obliques. I want you to take right hand on the inside as far as you can. And then take left hand down, switch it out. Inhale, right hand up. We're revolving a side angle. Kind of strange. Usually we do that with triangles. Nice opening twist in the back. Inhale, roll back up, warrior 2. Flip, exhale, reverse. Big inhale. Exhale, cartwheel frame. Skipping the warrior 2, drop left knee. Uncurl left toes. Half splits or Hanumanasana. Right knee nice and soft. If you prefer a straighter back, one book behind the heel will do it, just those extra inches to help you keep length in your spine. Big inhales. Calming, head-freeing exhales. For anyone who's been playing with going deeper, you know it's not about locking out your knee. It's about taking your right foot forward just a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot at all. Maybe left foot comes back. Maybe this is where you stop today. Maybe after a little bit of warmness, you find the full splits. Hanging out, breathing through anything, and dancing around your edge. All right. Take a walk forward, frame. Give your left toes a curl. Step your right foot back to high plank. Float. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Downward facing. Inhale, fill. Exhale to the top. Half lift. Take the dive. And inhale, sweep your hands up your seat back, land into chair. Shoulders are soft. Weight is in heels. Chest a little bit lifted. All right. Shift the weight now to your balls of your feet, picking up your heels. Hands to the side. Sit a little deeper. Heels down, hands up, big seat. Inhale, fill, exhale, sit. Inhale, fill. Exhale, hinge. Come up half. High plank. Lower. Inhale, back bend. Down dog. Everything we did on the right, now on the left. Inhale your right foot up. Bend and open. Stacking left hip on right. Float your left toes. Step your foot between your hands. Open up right foot 90 degrees. Press through pinky edge. Spiral open your arms. Long, strong warrior two. Opening hips. Gaze over front left. Flip. Neutral shoulders. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Flip. Come back over. Flip just the left. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, fills up left side lunge. Exhale, complete release. Inhale, fill. Exhale, warrior two. Ready, extended side angle. Left down, right overhead. Do you want to drop elbow in front of me to ensure you're using your strong side body? Do you want to take fingers down? Or do you want to take fingers down on book, block, whatever you may be using? Okay, how does it feel? Do you want to play with half bind, right hand to the low back? That simple little change will really open up right side shoulder. Do you want a snake left underneath? Today might not be the night that you catch your fingers, or maybe it is. Maybe you say, nope, I'm just going to hang out in half bind, and that's the right answer for your body. If you're holding any sort of bind, release it. Inhale, come up. Flip. Exhale, reverse. Is your front left leg talking to you a little bit? Make sure you're not taking your left knee in. Open it back up. Inhale, fill. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, fill. Exhale, back to extended side angle. Ready? Right hand's going to drop. Left fingers are going to come up. We're going to revolve. A nice big twist. I love that extra support. It allows me to really focus on the twist and not worry about balance. Windmill your arms back up to warrior two position. Flip. Exhale, reverse. Big inhale. Exhale, cartwheel right through the warrior two. Drop right knee down. Uncurl right toes. Shift the hips. Line them up over right knee. Left toes pop, left knee soft. The half splits. Are you looking for length in spine? Are you concentrating on mindfulness? That's a perfectly good thing to do in a hold like this. Or maybe, as you warm up, you say, I'm going to play with just bringing my left a little in front and my right a little back. Tonight, maybe nowhere near full splits. Maybe just that inch or two dancing around your edge. Really put all the focus on the inhales, the exhales. Find the present moment. If you're in full splits, start to come back. We'll collectively take our little walk forward. We'll curl our right toes under. We'll step left back. You know you can always skip the flow and come right to downward facing, or you can lower and take it. Little active rest here in our downward facing. Really spread through your fingers. Lift up your seat. Let's lower our knees, uncurl our toes, and find a child's pose. Forehead down, fingers reaching. Inhale, come up to a table. Give your toes a curl. Lift your seat downward facing. And step to the top. Half lift. Take a dive. Inhale all the way up to standing. And exhale through your heart. So some balancing. Shift all the way to the right leg. So I like to start by just picking up left, finding those connection points, heel and ball, right knee soft. We've been opening up our hips. We're going to do the same. We're going to make this tree our tree, whether that's a kickstand, calf, inner thigh, or maybe today's the day you take pinky edge to right hip crease. Core is engaged, hands at heart, or hands overhead. Shoulders, just relax away. We're not forcing them down. We're not shortening the sides of our body. We're just not introducing tension. It doesn't matter where you've taken this. Although I will say, if you're playing with pinky edge and hip crease, it can be kind of fun to take this left hand here, take it around, and see if you can't catch your big toe. I'm right on the cusp. My right hand will come back for a little half prayer. Just a fun way to play with binds. but you know, whatever tree variation you're in is a good one. Take a moment for some breaths to feel stable, steady, secure. Big inhale. Exhale, left foot down. Take your steps. And give your right ankle a little roll, release, and then weight shifts to the left. Take your nice little rock. Find those connection points. Open upright. Kickstand calf. Inner thigh or hip crease. Core is engaged. Hands at heart. You could switch it up. Take hands behind, a little reverse prayer for the shoulders. Unless you're in this formation, if you played with the bind before, try taking right hand around, grabbing big toes. And if you're like, no way, I'm in something completely different, that's fine. Most important part of yoga is listening to your body. Big inhale, and exhale brings everything down. We'll take our couple steps. Give our left ankle the roll. All right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, big hinge. Inhale, up half. We're not going to flow. Exhale, big hinge. Give your feet a heel toe. Toes spill off the mat, heels stay on it. We're going to drop our seat. So usually in class, I would tell you can place a block under your tailbone, because this is a pretty big stretch. If you're like, this still isn't working, you can always come up a little higher. A book isn't the same as a block. You might flip that block vertical. So if you need to come up higher, by all means. But I figure we've done some hip opening. Let's sit in this big squat. Inhale, lift into our chest. Vinyasa, the traditional yogi squat. All right, hands down, seat up, heel toe to the down or to the forward fold. Big hinge. Final flow. Ready? Up half. High plank. Lower through. Look up. Curl the toes. Lift the seat. Drop the knees. And come to the seat. No fancy setup. So I do want to take some time for the shoulders. I'm going to have you come, well, legs out, shoelace. Right knee drops on left. I'm trying to really stack my kneecap on my kneecap here. If you're a little bit square, that's fine, but your hip might be a little sticky, and you might want to stay here right in half. Or you could find full, knees stacked. And for anyone who this just doesn't work for, easy seat's a perfectly fine place to be. So this is why I wanted you to have a makeshift strap, and I will help you out if you don't have one. So take what you're using, scarf, blanket, towel, put it in your right hand, inhale it up, bend your elbow, send the strap down your back. Left hand finds it. Okay, so maybe you're saying, look, I didn't have time to grab anything. No worries. What you can do is take your right hand up, bend at your elbow, and take your left hand to your elbow. Maybe not as intense of a stretch, but still a really great pose for your posture. If you've got your strap, you know it doesn't matter how much slack. What matters is that you're finding length in your spine and you're not hinging forward. You're inhaling, lift into your chest, trying to put your neck in line with the rest of your spine. So we're not looking up, But we're adding a hint of lift into our chin. This is what's so good for our posture in the front of our left shoulder. Big inhale. And talked about it recently, but our shoulders and our throat are responsible for expressing ourselves. So if you have tight shoulders, have you been having issues expressing yourself? Something to consider. Big inhale. Hands out long. Release. Drop the arms. Give the shoulders some shrugs. Inhale, sweep hands up. And bring right on top of left. Eagle arms. Palms together. Maybe backs of hands. Or maybe palms to shoulders. Inhale, lengthen to your spine. Lift into your elbows. Doesn't matter the variation. What matters is that you're putting space in your shoulder blades. Big inhale, fill. Exhale, unwind. Arms out long as our counter. One more. Arms down. And take your shrugs. Unwind your shoelace if you are in a shoelace. Bend and windshield wiper. Right leg out, left leg on top, unless you know you'd be more comfortable in an easy seat. You know that's perfectly okay. If you want to bend right underneath, if you're feeling it, but it's going to be more intense on the left hip, by all means. So, if you've got the strap, you bring it into your left hand, inhaling left hand up, bending elbow, catching strap with right. No strap, no problem. Your same bent elbow, and you're just using your right hand on your left elbow. Regardless of how you're taking this, it's lift into spine, hint of lift into chin, just to keep your neck in line. Finding release in the fronts of the shoulders. Clearing out thoughts. Going to that pinpoint of focus, the intention that you set. Big breaths. Cleansing exhales. Let them carry away anything that no longer serves you. One more. Exhale, drop strap or release his elbow. Arms come out long. Arms come down. Shrugs. And then we inhale up. Left comes over right. Palms, backs of hands, or palms to shoulders. So long as you're finding length into your spine and lifting your elbows, you are making space behind your blades. Focusing on breath. One more big inhale. Unwind, exhale, arms out, arms down. Shrug. Unwind legs. Bend. Windshield wiper. Sit up tall, soles together, knees apart. We're going to go back to the insides of our hips. We spent a good deal of time on the insides of the hips tonight, so maybe you bring your heels a little bit closer and go a little deeper. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge, space in the low back. Maybe some of us started out in a Supta Baddha Konasana. Now you're just in Baddha Konasana or butterfly. hips are emotional centers. Exhaling. Inhaling. Cleaning them out with the breath. And we inhale, come up. Guide knees together. Plant the soles. Windshield wiper. Alright. I'm going to show you two poses. I'm going to give you the options for a double pigeon, knowing that double pigeon is an intense posture. So if you're not feeling it tonight, no worries. The way I like to get started is left leg long, right ankle on left knee. Figure forward just like you would in a reclined pigeon, except for this time I bend my left underneath and I bring my left ankle under my right knee. See how I'm kind of stacked up? Ankle, knee, knee, ankle. Alright, shins square. Sometimes it's called square pose, not double pigeon, at least in a bar class. The reason I told you to grab a blanket is sometimes you get a little gap. That gap's no big deal, it just might mean your hip's a little tight. What you'd want to do is fill up that gap. Little extra support so you can ease in and relax. Now if you've tried all of these things or you don't have access to a blanket, you can always just bend, take your hands to the mat, lean back, or come onto your back and just take it reclined. So reclined pigeon or double pigeon, your call. If you're in the double, and say you filled up this gap with a blanket, you may want to play with hinging forward, but not going too far. We're never looking to strain, we just want to dance around our edge. That place where you feel a little sweet discomfort, but where we want to hold so we don't force or hurt anything. Now if you have no gap, and you're folded forward and you say, I want to go deeper yet, you might take a little walk to the left. It's pretty intense here on the right side hip. So all these variations, you're in the one that works best for your body. You're filling up. Maybe audibly breathing out. Training your brain to focus on that one single point, the intention. Learning to quiet all other thoughts. Alright, so if you're in the square or pigeon, you're walking up and you're unwinding. Nice and slow, kind to your hip. If you're on your back, you're exhaling your left foot down, taking windshield wipers. If you're seated, windshield wipers. Windshield wipers. Always a good counter pose for just about any pose. Okay, so if you're trying the double again, right leg's long, left ankle is right above the right kneecap. Maybe you're bending right underneath, putting the ankle under the knee, making the square. Remember, square doesn't have to be perfect. You can find something soft to fill up any gaps. And just because it worked on the right doesn't mean it's going to work on the left. If you need to come to a reclined pigeon here, by all means. So once you've found your comfortable pigeon, you're focusing on your breath. If you're in the double, maybe you're hinging forward, maybe to the right, whatever works for the outside of the left hip, sort of like the seat area. And all you're doing here practicing a little mindfulness, working on letting go of outside thoughts, just being in the present moment, being in this space. You've got just a couple more rounds of breath. Really focus on the inhales and exhales. If your hands are off to the right, start bringing them to center. Start walking up. Unless you're on your back, then you're lowering right foot to mat. Folks on your back, we're coming to meet you, so you just focus on windshield wipering. We're unwinding. We're taking a windshield wiper in our seat or on our back, depending on how you took this pose. And then let's start to come to our back. We are going to take a yogi's choice inversion. So if you have access to the wall and you're feeling a legs up the wall, then that is your inversion. And maybe you sidle up to that wall before you come to your back. No access to a wall, but you're still interested in legs up the wall, you can just bring your feet up or even place your hands under your low back. Now I said yogi's choice. So some of you are like, tonight, I would like a shoulder stand, and you bring your legs up just like you would in a legs up the wall, but you lift up using the strength of your core, and you catch your low back. Being very mindful not to turn your neck too much here. We really want to keep this safe. Core is engaged, we're stacking, and we're walking our elbows together. Now if you're in legs up the wall, you're in a great place. Just make sure your knees are soft. We're all focusing on our breath. If you are in a shoulder and you do want to take your toes behind head and play with a plow, by all means, trying to maintain some length in your spine. If toes don't touch, no worries. You can always bend your knees, bring them towards your forehead. You can hang out in shoulder stand. If toes do touch, and you want to play with dropping your knees by your ears, that could be fun. If you're in legs up the wall, you're just focusing on your breathing. We're all experiencing the calming benefits of this pose, no matter which one we've chosen. So pause, pick up your legs, come through a shoulder stand, and lower your seat. If your legs are up against the wall, I want you to start to come away from the wall. We'll all start to bring our knees into our chest. If you're coming away from the wall, just taking your time. We're simply, just like we did at the beginning, exhaling and opening up the low back. Extend your legs long. Reach your toes. Take your palms down. Sitting on the backs of hands, or maybe not. Maybe just having them near the seat. We're inhaling up to our elbows. Walking our elbows towards one another. Opening up our heart, our throat. Reaching our crown to the ceiling and our crown to our mat in a fish pose. Inhale your head up. Come down. Draw your knees to your chest. Big hug, squeeze, rock. We got to take that happy baby for everyone who opted for legs up the wall, or just for good measure, since we've spent so much time with the insides of the hips. A rock or stillness. Big breath. Release your feet, give your knees a hug. Exhale, squeeze, take a little rock. Tonight I'm not going to switch it up. I'm going to have you find the same twist we did at the beginning, dropping both knees to the right. I want you to do that for a reason. How's your back feeling? A little bit more open? If you do want extra intensity, take your left, cross it over your right. Sorry, Oscar. Reach your fingers, maybe a look to the left. Wringing out the entire body. Practicing a little mindfulness. Bring your head center. If you cross left over right, uncross, tuck your knees to your chest. Exhale, squeeze, take your little rock. And then gently set knees to the left. First, just going back to the twist we took at the beginning. Identify how much your back may have changed throughout this practice. We did some of that twisting to find release. Are you noticing it? If you want to go deeper, maybe crossing right over left, facing the ceiling, or looking to right for that last neck stretch. Slowing your breath back down. Bring your head center. If right was crossed over, uncross, tuck both knees into your chest. Take a rock. We're going to close things just the way we started. Exhale, squeeze your knees in, find release in your low back. Maybe one more rock. And then come into Savasana. So usually I have you take it with ankles rolled open, and that's the way I want you to take it if you're comfortable. But if you want to come to one last bound angle, you think you could comfortably turn off in this pose, by all means. We're completely letting go of our bodies, allowing every muscle to melt into the mat. Maybe giving our toes one last wiggle, our ankles one last roll. As we allow the legs to sink, hips to sink, shoulders, jaw. The breaths are steady. We've moved beyond our intention to our meditation, that unfocused awareness. Inhale. Coming back to awareness. Focused awareness. Finding some movements. A little roll of ankles, a reach of toes, an opening and closing of hands. Come in for a stretch. Find some length. Roll to your right. And inhale up. Easy seat. Dear yogis, as always, thank you for joining me in this practice, and namaste.